Good morning, everyone. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call this workshop to order and resume our budget discussion with departments. Good morning.
Good morning. Yesterday we started going through the departmental presentations, and so we'd like to continue. And next department up is Extension.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Administrators. My name is Grant Ricketts. I'm the Extension Director. And the word extension, what could that mean? And so I want to explain to the people that are listening what extension is, what we do, and how we come about. So extension is a partnership between the federal government, the University of Florida, and the local government, in this case, St. Lucie County. Extension conversations started way back in 1862 when President Lincoln signed the Morrill Act and the land grant system, in this case, the University of Florida, came about. It continues. So what happened is that they found out that there were research going on in the universities, but the information was just going into journals and just staying on the shelf. So in 1914, you have Smith and Lever from Georgia and from South Carolina thought it would be a good idea for the federal government to have a way of transferring that information from the university to the people. So that is how extension came about. Let's get to 2026, where we are right now. What we do for St. Lucie County, the impact that we have on St. Lucie County. So some of the things that we do, we have 4-H youth development, natural resources, family and consumer sciences, sea grant, fruit and field crop, and horticulture. Let's go back to 4-H, the impact. A few days ago, I spoke with a young lady, a 4-H'er, that was selected to go to Washington to speak to all the 4-H'ers in the United States because her confidence grew so much as a result of 4-H, because she joined 4-H from an early age. There is also another 4-H'er. Because of 4-H, the confidence that 4-H gave her, she wants to be a state senator. 4-H is not just fair. People go to fair and show animals. That is a big thing, because not everybody can walk across a stage with animals, and they're not going to be comfortable walking in front of people. So yes, 4-H bring confidence. 6 months ago, I have a family pack up their bags and left from North Carolina to the Treasure Coast, St. Lucie County. He was promised a job conditionally that he was going to pass the pesticide certification exam. He worked all day and he was tired, did not get time to study for the test. His 6 months was coming up for him to pass that test. He was unable to pass the test. What I did was to meet with him on weekends and in the evening prepare him for that test. And because of extension intervention, he was able to pass that test so that he can keep his family in a home, so he's not homeless. We have the Master Gardener program. The Master Gardener program, they volunteer over 9,000 hours in 2025, reaching more than 31,000 people, which represents over $300,000 in value. And this value, how we came about with this value is we look at the independent sector volunteer hours rate, which is $33 per hour. Also, recently, just in May, there is a new mealybug that came out that is devastating pastures. Within 2 weeks, there would be no grass. There would be no more grass. We found it. It was first found in St. Lucie County in Florida. I reached out to DPI, which is Department of Plant Industry, in Gainesville, and we came up with an identification and also a temporary solution. So these are some of the things that Extension do. We are not an 8 to 5 or a 9 to 5. We are there when the farmers are when the people need us. I also support other departments, Parks and Rec, for instance. I am a certified arborist, and there are many times when trees are in parks and people are concerned that the government just cutting down trees. I know there are some folks, they really love trees. They are tree advocates, or you want to call them tree huggers, whatever the name. And Parks and Rec would reach out to me as a certified arborist and said, hey, can you write me a letter to put on the file, come and assess this tree to see if there's an hazard. Should we remove it? Should we prune it? And I would go there, write a letter, so that when the residents or the citizens ask about that tree, why did you remove that tree, we can tell them that, tell them the reason we removed that tree. It's just 2 days ago, Parks and Rec reached out to me, where the sheriff department reached out to them and said, hey, our helicopter is unable to safely land on that the landing pad. I want these trees to remove. And I was able to go there and give the recommendation, hey, usually we don't tap trees, but you have to tap this one because safety comes first. So these are some of the things that we do. So we can move to the next slide, please. We have the Indian River Watershed Education Program, where the city of Fort Pierce realize or know our value, know what we do. And for the past many years, they decided that they are going to give us a $10,000 stipend to provide water education to 4-H kids. One of the big programs that we have is we have boat trips for fifth graders, where they will go and learn about the living things, and an hour and a half, 90 minutes boat ride. So they will learn in science on the Indian River. So these are some of the things that we do by extension. Talking about Indian River, our pesticide certification program that we have, and our green industry-based management program that we do. What we do, we train landscapers how to properly apply fertilizer. So we teach them the science about applying fertilizer. A lot of people would believe putting a bag of fertilizer in a spreader and walk across the lawn, don't know that it's 1 pound per 1,000 square feet. So that extra fertilizer is going to find its way down into the Indian River Lagoon. So what we do, we can't stop it, but we minimize the effect of non-point source pollution. So those are some of the things, are some of the ways that we contribute to St. Lucie. St. Lucie, the people of St. Lucie. We are here to educate, and that's what we do. Citrus. Some folks will say citrus is a dying breed. Why do we have extension? But if you look back at it, citrus is not the only thing that falls under agriculture. We have a lot of folks that are coming into St. Lucie County. They bought the land for tropical fruits. But many of these people, they live in New York. They live in New York, or they're from different countries. They don't know the soil, they don't know the climate. So our job is to teach them about the soil in St. Lucie County. The amount of fertilizer, as I said before, when not to use fertilizer, pesticides. Make sure your folks have a pesticide license before you apply pesticides. Going forward, how we serve these people. We serve them through field and office consultations. We go where they are. We don't wait for them to come to us, because not many people know about us. Like people don't know about us like we would want them to. So we have to go and find these people where they are and when they are available. It could be weekends, or it could be late evenings, because many of these people, they have full-time jobs. We have participants at the learning events. Our responsibility is to hold programs, have classes. And if you see these numbers, like we have old and we have new, old in the orange, new in the blue, you can see there's an increase. And the reason why we have this increase is that we have a marketing person that was created. That position was created a few years ago, that is going out there and tell people that we are here. So our job is to make sure that the extension is not the best kept secret anymore. But people come and find us, and we're going to find them wherever they are. So we tell our story wherever we go. We created educational materials. We have social media, and we have phone calls. We love to do site visits, because when we do site visits, we learn from site visits, and people see that we care, rather than talking on the phone at all times. All right, so if you look at this, we support St. Lucie. We supported jobs in St. Lucie County, and a big way that we support jobs is the landscaping industry. It is a big industry across Florida, and if we don't support them, pollution is going to be something that we will have to live with. So it goes back to pesticides. It goes back to pesticide certification and education. Even these days, I'm a part of a program where I go to MCI, Martin County Institute, the jail, the prison, and where we go and teach inmates that are about to get out of jail, teach them, get them certified in landscape. There are many of them that are from St. Lucie County and are here in Florida. And that's one program that I am hoping, long time ago, Mighty and I talked about it. We are hoping very soon that we're going to go to the jail here to get people certified, so that whenever they are out, they don't go back, most likely they don't go back in jail, because they have something to do. They have a way to earn income. All right, so I think that's the last slide. Any questions that you have, any clarification that you'd like?
Questions, comments?
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Well done. Thank you. All right, and we have facilities up next. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, fellow commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Matt Baum, Facilities Director. I want to thank you for this opportunity to present to you this morning, and more importantly, to thank you for all your past, current, and future support, not only of this department and the other county departments and the great people of these departments, but all the work you do to look out for and champion worthy endeavors for this county and its citizenry. This first slide is just kind of an overview of some of the things we do. Facilities is your building maintenance department, responsible for clean, safe, accessible, well-maintained, and relatively comfortable buildings. We are responsible for approximately 106 buildings, totaling over 1.5 million square feet currently, and the number is rising each year. About half of those buildings are uniquely critical to public safety and public service, including the sheriff's office, the county jail, the clerk of court, the property appraiser, the tax collector, the supervisor of elections, the 19th Judicial District, state attorney's office, public defender's office, public safety 911 at the EOC, Florida Department of Health, the medical examiner, and of course multiple Board of County Commission governmental operation buildings like the libraries, annex buildings, Ag Center, Hurricane House, Sunshine Kitchen, Rock Road IT, et cetera, and including the one we are in now. Additionally, one of the more complex properties we maintain is the Major League Baseball Stadium, aka Clover Park, the spring training site for the New York Mets and home of the St. Lucie Mets. Thank you, Tim, Pam, Billy, and crew. These are all heavily used, high-traffic properties, and it can be estimated that our properties combined see between 2 to 3 million visitors a year. That's a lot of doors opening and closing, not to mention all the flushes and rolls of TP. No. But seriously, though, it's a lot of wear and tear on critical components and building systems, especially considering their age, and as many of our buildings are between 20 and 75 years old, which is why we developed our CAP, or our Capital Asset Program, this year, which is a comprehensive analysis of all of our buildings by their age and the age of their various systems that require replacement at end of useful life, like flooring, roofing, paint, HVAC, etc., in order to help the development of our short 5-year and our long 10-year capital plan. Do I click it?
No.
Okay.
Good.
Sorry. And we'll keep clicking. Thank you. Within all these buildings, we maintain over 6,000 tons of HVAC equipment and roughly 9,500 doors, 24,000 lights, 1,700 toilets, 4,200 plumbing fixtures, and additionally, we maintain, service, and perform custodial, cabinetry, hood systems, life safety equipment including fire suppression, fire alarms, and fire extinguishers, lift systems and grease traps, septic systems, water service systems including both municipal service and wells, elevators, emergency generators, pest control, utilities, landscape maintenance, security systems, door access, security cameras, and gates, both automated and manual, roofing, carpentry, painting, locksmith work, office moving and renovations, construction and project management, warehouse management, storage, county record retention, property and lease management, disaster preparedness, storm response, damage assessment and restoration, equipment management and disposal. And thank you to my team that does a lot of that work: Kenny, Curtis, Dan, Brian, Dave, Christy, Joe, McCoy, Jesus, and your various team members. They are awesome. We plan, manage, and perform all this service work guided with computer management maintenance or a CMS or work order software, with the goal to be prepared, proactive as possible, while being able to respond to emergency and service calls or work orders. Thank you, Greg. And the team has to provide financial oversight over all these activities. It's a lot going on, and they're an awesome and amazing team. Thank you to Jennifer with me here today, and her team, Shannon, Franklin, and Brenda. The facilities department is responsible for project construction management of our buildings, and some of the most recent past examples include Courthouse Building C, the current EOC, or Emergency Operations Center, Tradition Tax Collector, and Sunshine Kitchen. Some of the projects we are currently working on are the Port St. Lucie Library, the new Medical Examiner's Office, the Homeless Veteran Shelter, and renovating the old Liberty Medical Building to be the new County Annex Building in Port St. Lucie. Thank you to Scotty and Bob. And we manage the county's 335 light fleet vehicles. Thank you, Dennis. We do all these things with 100 people. When you attempt to determine the appropriate staff levels, appropriate operating budget, capital budget, and all other resources through the various organizations that serve this type of work, like IFMA, International Facility Management Association, and others, including our neighboring counties, and even AI, our numbers appear to be very in line. In some cases and in some areas, it appears we may be operating at a deficit, which I guess is good, as it shows we have found a way to do more with less and get by without. Right or wrong, I consider myself a fiscally conservative person who desires to do things efficiently and save money. And when we do something, my desire is that it's done right the first time and built to stand the test of time. We don't always get it right the first time, and we make mistakes, but we are making every effort to do our research to prevent mistakes. But when they do happen, we learn from them and to put processes and procedures in place to prevent them from reoccurring. Example, for the past year, we have reinvigorated the effort of building inspections and preventative maintenance. We are currently at an estimated 20% preventative maintenance and 80% reactive maintenance. These numbers are no doubt largely due to all the deferred maintenance between or during that 10-year period of roughly 2009 to 2019. But we do hope to reverse those numbers over the next few years and get closer to the ideal scenario in the industry of 70% preventative maintenance and 30% reactive. This no doubt will help us to achieve our goal of reducing overall maintenance costs per square foot. So thank you so much for the time, taking the time to listen and allowing me to present. I really do appreciate your consideration of our facilities FY27 budget. Is this the last slide? Okay. There was a few things listed on the screen, but honestly, I don't think there's a lot left to say. I'm open for any questions you have, and thank you again very much for your time.
Thanks, Matt. Questions, comments?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Flasby?
So just, I don't want to point out anything specific here, but this is a pretty exciting budget for the facilities department, it looks like, as far as maintenance goes. So I would be in support of what you guys are proposing in here. I think that there's a lot of deferred maintenance that some of our buildings are basically falling apart, and you know, it's not just for the employees or for our comfort, it's for the safety of the public and the investment that we've all made in these buildings. So thank you for doing what you guys do.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Government Relations, Courtney. Morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Courtney Calderon, Director of Government Relations, for the record. The departments you've heard from and will continue to hear from deliver services residents can see and experience. Government Relations delivers something different. Our role is to position the county to compete for funding, influence legislation, protect taxpayer resources, and build partnerships that benefit our community. We serve as the county's intergovernmental infrastructure, helping navigate the administrative and political landscape based on the board's policy direction and administration's priorities. Our work creates opportunities that enhance the effectiveness of county government. Since 2019, Government Relations has supported more than 100 county projects, including funding for the airport runway extension, the new medical examiner's building, North Hutchinson Island subject to sewer conversions, Midway Road, and Edwards Road. Long before these projects become reality, our team is building relationships, identifying funding opportunities, coordinating with intergovernmental partners, and advocating for priorities that matter to St. Lucie County residents. Over the past year alone, we've had more than 1,100 engagements with elected officials, government agencies, and community stakeholders. Those interactions ensure St. Lucie County has a voice in Tallahassee and in Washington, D.C. Since 2019, we've also led efforts on 3 local bills, including legislation that has already prevented more than $17 million in inmate medical costs from becoming a burden on local taxpayers, and will continue to do so in the future. The most recent local bill we worked on was in response to requests from residents. In partnership with Mosquito Control, we successfully spearheaded an effort to place a referendum on the November ballot, allowing residents in the expansion area to decide if they will receive service. Simply put, we create the legislative, financial, and strategic pathways that allow county departments to do what they do best, deliver services to our residents. Another important part of our work is protecting the county from risks most residents never see. This year alone, our office monitored 234 pieces of legislation that could have affected county government. While not all of these become law, a single bill can significantly impact local services, budgets, or the county's ability to serve residents. Our responsibility is to know what matters, anticipate potential impacts, and act when necessary. The same is true after funding is awarded. Our department oversees funding and contract compliance for the American Rescue Plan, Florida Department of Health, and New Horizons. That includes reporting requirements, compliance obligations, and adapting to evolving federal guidance. Our job is to ensure every dollar awarded to St. Lucie County remains here, serving St. Lucie County residents. Many of our greatest successes are the things that never happen. A harmful bill doesn't pass, a funding opportunity isn't missed, or an unnecessary cost is avoided. Those victories may not make headlines, but they protect taxpayer dollars and strengthen trust in county government. Our department understands that delivering results means delivering value for taxpayers. Between fiscal year 20 and fiscal year 26, the county invested approximately $9.27 million in government relations. During that same period, our efforts helped to secure more than $110 million in outside funding, a net benefit of approximately $101 million for St. Lucie County. For every dollar invested, approximately $12 came back to our community, representing a return on investment of more than 1,000%. I'll leave you with this thought. Government relations is often the first step in a project. Much of our work happens behind the scenes, long before a ribbon is cut or a service reaches a resident. But that work is what makes so many opportunities possible. Whether we're securing funding, protecting local decision-making, ensuring compliance, or building relationships across all levels of government, our mission is the same: connecting people, policy, and purpose to support innovation, safeguard tradition, and serve the public good. The results speak for themselves, not only in the more than $110 million we've helped bring back to our community, but in the projects completed, the cost avoided, and the lives improved. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Courtney. Questions, comments? No? Great job. We appreciate all your hard work. It's very true. The importance of this department really does go unseen, because oftentimes you guys are doing that work behind the scenes, so bad bills don't even make it, to the public's knowledge because of the work that you guys do. So really appreciate it. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Clasby.
Yeah, just one thing. It's, the public doesn't realize what you have saved or that department has saved in inmate medical bills, and we are the first county in the state that did that, and other counties are following. So you guys are leading the board on that and saving the taxpayers huge dollars, so thank you.
Thank you.
So another thing that maybe the public doesn't understand is that your job relies primarily on relationships with folks in Tallahassee and DC, and I will say that you have you're well respected in those circles, so I know that we're getting accurate information, so thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, next is information technology. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Daniel Baggett. I'm the interim director of IT. On the weekends, I like to build things, or try. I like to do projects, and there's nothing worse than you go to the store, you get all the stuff you think you need, you get home, you've told your wife you've got the kids for a couple hours, and you're going to build something, and then you start and realize you're missing the tools to do the job. Our job in IT is to provide the tools, the technology, and the support so other county employees can do their job. The first thing, and one of the ways that we provide support, is we try to play defense proactively. Bad guys all around the world are trying to attack our network, and their goal is to bring our network down. And our goal is, instead of trying to just respond to attacks, it's trying to stop them from ever happening. I'm sure you all love the phishing attempts that we send your way repeatedly. And for those in the room that might not know, IT acts like the bad guys, and we send fake emails with links, and when you click them, you get assigned more training, which I'm sure everyone in the room loves. But you don't get stronger unless you go to the gym, and you're not going to get better at anything unless you train on it. And we've seen our phishing, or we've seen our basically our click rate go down over the last couple of years dramatically as people get better and better at seeing the tactics the bad guys might choose to employ. We have a ton of tools in place to protect the network, but nothing really replaces the employees that drop everything, stay late, work on a weekend to respond to a threat to make sure our employees can keep serving the residents of the county. We're also continuing to change the way our network is designed. A single master key that unlocks every door in a house would not make any sense, or even just a few keys would not make any sense. And instead, we've been transitioning the network to where there's a ton of individual keys. And that way, if something does go wrong in one area, it's easier to isolate the problem and protect the county. We are also and continue to work to increase county efficiency. I started here in 2024 on the help desk, and the main tool that every employee in this building uses is their computer. And it would drive me insane to have employees start and then not have a computer, not have their tool ready to go, able to work with it, or not have their email account made. And you can see from the slide the amount of progress we've made. We genuinely tried to imagine if we pulled someone off the street and just said, "You're hired," how quickly could we actually get that person up and running and working? And as you see, we've made strides. We know there's a bunch of other areas that we can make progress and get faster, but it's all with the intention and understanding that county employees are paid here to serve the public and not wait on IT. We also don't want employees waiting longer than they have to when things break. And in IT, things just have a way everywhere you go of computers tending to break. It's a fact of life. And issues really do add up, as you see the number on the screen. A 911 operator that can't get into their computer, a code inspector that needs an iPad to work in the field, maybe Microsoft just decides you're going to use the new Outlook and you have no choice in the matter. All of these issues add up, and every single day we try to help employees get back to what they were hired to do. Not only are we fixing issues during work hours, let me go back to this one. Yep, not only are we fixing issues during work hours, but we actually are fixing them 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. If you call the help desk after hours, which they might be screaming downstairs right now that I'm encouraging people to do this, but if you call the help desk after hours, a real person will pick up the phone and they will start working on any county employee's issue right then. And I can tell you, if you wonder, this building does work after hours, especially the people in the back of this room, they work after hours. And I know that because I see all the calls that come to my cell phone. I don't pick up all the calls, but I see that they're all going to the help desk and can see as they come through. Last but not least, technology is changing faster and faster, and it's touching more and more of our lives. A watch used to just be a watch. Cars used to be something you drive. They're driving themselves now, and the county's no different. As you look through this slide and you see the numbers, I hope you see how IT touches everything that makes the county run. And I hope you also see that the credit belongs to the people that are making all of these devices on the screen continue to run. Every metric, every slide I've shown you, it really points to an employee who fixed something that no one else could figure out how to fix, or scheduled their weekend around a server update. They stayed late whenever we had a security scare, or worked behind the scenes so someone else in another department could serve the public. I am incredibly proud of the work our team does, and I'm excited to lead them in the future. So unless you have any questions, the library is next, which is one of my favorite departments.
Excellent. Well done. Questions, comments? Nope. Thank you for all you do. We know we're not in the good old days of pen and paper anymore, and so when systems go down, productivity stops. And you're right, just seeing the amount of time that we've gone down from 2 weeks to 2 days to 2 hours, and I've sort of been here during that period, and I can vouch for how streamlined this department has become. So thank you to you, your team, everyone in IT. Thank you.
I'm sure. We also just seen, I believe just yesterday, how important it is to have, good IT and good security and good firewalls in place to make sure that no one tampers with our website or anything like that. We don't want to be held hostage. So
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Morning, Robin.
Good morning, Commission Chair, Commissioners, County Administration, and guests. My name is Robin St. Pan. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the Director of Library Services. And at its core, the mission of the St. Lucie County Library System is simple: to expand access and support our community. Whether that's access to books, technology, lifelong learning, workforce resources, or simply a welcoming place to belong, our goal is to remove barriers and create opportunities for every resident. Today's presentation highlights how your library continues to expand access, strengthen our community, and improve the quality of life throughout St. Lucie County. The numbers you'll see today demonstrate the scale of that work, but behind every statistic is a person whose life was made just a little easier because the library was there when they needed it. That's why our library system includes 7 convenient service locations strategically located throughout the county, bringing library services closer to where people live, work, and learn. But access doesn't stop at our buildings. Through our website, digital collections, online databases, mobile app, virtual programming, and self-service resources, the library remains open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whether a resident visits us in person, downloads an ebook at midnight, researches a school project from home, or places a hold from their phone, the library is always within reach. This year, our libraries welcomed more than 500,000 visitors. We circulated over 700,000 print items, along with over 250,000 digital checkout items, making our combined circulation over 900,000. The library answered 158,000 information questions and provided nearly 100,000 internet sessions. Those numbers reflect something much larger than library usage. They represent hundreds of thousands of opportunities to learn, connect, discover, and succeed. These opportunities are so appreciated by our community that they gave back almost 4,600 volunteer hours. Community engagement is often thought of as program and events, but for today's library, it's so much more than that. It's about making sure every resident knows that the library is here for them, whether they walk through our doors or not. Every month, our newsletter reaches more than 50,000 residents, keeping our community informed about resources, services, and opportunities. Our meeting rooms continue to be among our most requested spaces, providing local organizations, businesses, nonprofits, and community groups with a place to gather, collaborate, and grow. Website traffic continues to increase because when people don't know where to find reliable information, they start at the library. Whether they're looking for library services, local resources, online learning, or trusted information, our website has become a 24/7 gateway to the community. And perhaps one of our greatest success stories is outreach. We don't believe the community should always have to come to us. We go to them. Through schools, festivals, community events, and neighborhood partnerships, our outreach has grown by more than 200%, allowing us to connect with thousands of residents who may never, ever have discovered everything that the library has to offer. Community engagement isn't just something we schedule, it's how we build our relationships, it's how we remove the barriers, and it's how we expand access beyond our walls and strengthen the communities we serve. One of the ways we responded to our community's changing needs this year was by expanding our focus on workforce development and job readiness. Thanks to grants from the American Library Association and the Florida Cephalin Cooperative, we were able to introduce new programs that equipped residents with practical skills for today's workforce. We expanded digital literacy training, offered job readiness workshops, and introduced programs on emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, one of our fastest growing program requests. Why, you may ask? Because while technology continues to evolve and AI generates information, people still wanted someone to help them navigate it, and we were there to help people make sense of it. As a result of these efforts, participation in our workforce development program increased by 158%. but statistics only tell part of this story. A few months ago, I received a phone call from a gentleman who simply wanted to say thank you. He shared that his partner had participated in our job readiness programs, used library resources, and because of the skills and confidence gained through those classes, had finally secured employment. He didn't call to thank me, he called to thank our staff. And that moment reminded me that behind every program, every resume workshop, every technology class, and every question answered is a staff member who genuinely cares about helping someone succeed. Their passion, dedication, and commitment are the reason our libraries make such a meaningful difference in our community. Reading has always been at the heart of the library's mission. Today, that mission extends beyond children through story time, teen programs, adult book clubs, and our new all-family reading challenges. We're building a community where reading becomes a lifelong habit. Recently, I was speaking with someone who grew up here under very, very difficult circumstances. He told me if it wasn't for the library, I wouldn't have eaten during the summer. He wasn't talking about books. He was talking about the meals that the library provides. That conversation reminded me that before a child can discover the joy of reading, their basic needs have to be met. In addition to helping thousands of children, teens, and adults become stronger readers, we also distributed 125 free meals throughout our summer partnership. That may not seem like a lot, but it is vital, because sometimes the library feeds a child's imagination, and sometimes it just simply feeds the child. Libraries have never been about buildings, they've always been about the people inside of them. Nearly every day, someone reaches out to ask me about the new Port St. Lucie Library. Their first question is always the same: when is it going to open? So I usually ask them, what is it that you need? Is it books, the computers, the meeting rooms? And almost every time their answer surprises me. They simply say, I miss the people and I miss having a place to go. That reminds me that libraries are much more than buildings. They're places where people connect, learn, discover, and belong. While we look forward to reopening the Port St. Lucie Library, we also recognize that expanding access means meeting people where they are and making library services available in new ways. That's why we've expanded access beyond our buildings through our 24/7 hold lockers, allowing residents to pick up materials whenever it fits their schedule, and through our Library Express vending machine, bringing books and library materials directly into the community. Because access shouldn't depend on library hours, work schedule, or how close you live to a branch. The new Port St. Lucie Library, our self-service technologies, and future building projects all share the same purpose: to expand access, strengthen support, and ensure every resident can connect with their library when and where they need it most. Throughout today's presentation, you've heard about circulation, technology, workforce development, community engagement, literacy, and capital projects. And at first glance, they may seem like they're all separate, but they're all part of one mission: to expand access, and support our community. Every book we place into a child's hands helps create a lifelong reader. Every technology class helps bridge the digital divide. Every workforce program opens the door to new opportunities. Every outreach event connects us with residents who may have never walked through our doors. Every capital project creates welcoming spaces where people can learn, connect, and belong. That's how libraries bring stronger communities. We empower readers, we bridge the digital divide, we support job seekers and lifelong learners, we create spaces where neighbors become community, and we ensure that every resident, regardless of age, income, or circumstance, has access to the resources they need to thrive. When we expand access, we expand opportunity. When we expand support, we strengthen our community. And when we do this, we help write the story of a stronger future for St. Lucie County. So, on behalf of our dedicated staff, volunteers, our Friends of the Library organization, and the residents we are honored to serve, thank you for your partnership, your shared commitment to expanding access, strengthening our community, and creating opportunities for everyone in the county. What questions may I answer for you?
Thank you, Robin.
I
Questions,
don't
comments?
have any. Thank you.
Great presentation, well
Thank
done.
you.
Thank you. Now we have Roger with mosquito control.
morning.
Good morning.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, my name is Roger Jacobson, St. Lucie County Mosquito Control Director for the record. Thanks for the opportunity to discuss mosquito control and why this work is so critical to the comfort and well-being of our community. As our name implies, the St. Lucie County Mosquito Control District is responsible for controlling disease vectoring and nuisance mosquito populations through an integrated mosquito management and ecosystem management approach across a 333 square mile mosquito control district. Founded in 1926, the St. Lucie County Mosquito Control District is celebrating our 100th anniversary this year. SLC MCD is the second oldest mosquito control district in the state and has pioneered innovation in mosquito control strategies along the way. So why is mosquito control important? In part because mosquitoes can impact our quality of life, but they can also be a significant threat to our public health. Some of the diseases transmitted by mosquitoes include malaria, West Nile, Eastern equine encephalitis, St. Louis encephalitis, Zika, and dengue fever. Although we have been exceptionally fortunate this year, the threat of vector-borne disease transmission persists. Disease prevalence and vector abundance both indicate a real threat to the public health of our community. Mosquitoes kill more people around the world each year than any other animals, more than sharks, wolves, lions, hippos, crocodiles, dogs, snakes, and humans combined. Also, I had no idea that hippos killed 500 people each year, but here we are. Some of our major accomplishments this year, so far this year for FY26, include responding to over 786 service requests from residents within the SLC MCD. So our entomological inspectors verified reports from residents on mosquito abundance, searched for potential sources of the problem, made treatments and recommendations for nighttime treatments, and educated the residents on what they can do to mitigate the risks around their homes. 786 times. The team partnered with Solid Waste, Communications, and our library team to offer 3 tire amnesty events, collecting over 200 tires or 4 tons from residents at no cost to them. This is incredibly important because tires are notorious for mosquito proliferation, primarily of the species known to transmit dengue, chikungunya, Zika, and several other mosquito-borne diseases. SLC MCD's entomological inspectors responded to over 42 potential mosquito-borne disease reports from the Florida Department of Health, performing inspections and treatments near the reported locations, making treatments and recommendations as needed. Due to their efforts and our partnership with FDOH, we have had yet another year of 0 mosquito-borne disease transmission within the district, despite significant risk factors being present. Our impoundment team has also replaced 4 culverts and 2 walkways to contribute to the ecosystem management efforts in the coastal areas. All of these accomplishments ensure our ability to maintain health and safety to provide a thriving community. The St. Lucie County Mosquito Control District is currently comprised of only 333 square miles of the most densely populated areas of the county. Millage collected within the district are to be expended within the boundaries. Recent high occupancy developments have highlighted the need for district expansion, as many newer neighborhoods are left outside the district. Prior to 2024, the St. Lucie County Board of County Commissioners could amend the boundary after being prompted by property owners. In 2024, House Bill 7013 was introduced, which changed how the boundaries could be amended. Now special districts are required to propose a bill to their local delegation, have it make its way through both chambers, including their assigned committees, and then ultimately signed by the government to be later approved by those in that expansion area. St. Lucie County's Government Relations Department, Courtney, Lori, and Susie, and the St. Lucie County Mosquito Control District have been working together since HB 7013 went into effect. Fast forward to this year. Bill language was drafted and presented to our local delegation for consideration. The bill outlines the expansion area of a little over 100 square miles, seen here in the bright green on the left. Representative Dana Trabolsi and Toby Overdorf co-sponsored the bill after passing the local delegation. The bill made its way through both chambers and their assigned committees stops unanimously to be ultimately signed by Governor DeSantis. In November, residents within the expansion area will have the opportunity to vote on this initiative. Costs of this initiative are scheduled to be around $883,000. Because this initiative is yet to be determined, funds needed were not requested in this budget cycle. I'm available if you have any questions or concerns.
All right, thanks, Roger. Questions, comments on mosquito control? Commissioner Clagsby?
Do we have an estimate of since we have more territory, I mean, there's obviously more people going to pay in, but presumably some of those could be ag exempt areas as well.
So there is a considerable amount, but one thing to note is mosquitoes are transient species.
Right.
So before all the development up to the boundary, we were able to provide more of a buffer and treat more of that area. So it's not only going to benefit the people in the expansion area, but it's also going to benefit, it could potentially benefit the people within the mosquito control district as well.
I understand the benefit. I'm
Yeah.
just saying as far as like finances to pay for the expanded area, is
So,
the added territory going to pay for itself, or how does that work?
Eventually, over time, as the stuff is being developed, it will eventually start to. As it stands now, no, it wouldn't, but it will over time as more areas are developed.
Do we have a dollar amount for servicing that, the added area?
So that's contingent on what was treated. To start, you would start with the most populated areas, and then which would be around like the PGA Verano and a lot of the other areas, and then as needed, you could do aerial treatments around there. So there's a lot of variables, and you couldn't give you an exact number, but I could get more detailed information to you.
What's the estimated expansion cost on the bottom, what you're looking for?
Oh, so the estimated expansion cost would be $883,000.
Okay.
So that includes one-time expenses, but it also includes stuff like labor and then increase in aerial contract and increase in chemical budget as well. So that recurring cost would be around to the tune of $500,000.
Maybe more of a OMB question, I don't know, but like applying the millage to that area for mosquito control district, I mean, does it equate to $883,000?
Not initially. As Roger mentioned, that in the beginning, the cost of the program is likely to exceed the revenue that would come in from the millage rate just from that expansion area. But over time, that area would contribute more into the district as it is further developed. So over time it would, but in the first few years it would not bring in as much as the operating expenses would go up.
Yeah, and the trends, like with Oak Ridge Ranch, with all that coming online, obviously is worth significantly less before you put a house on it. As soon as you put a house on it, the value would go up. So it all depends on several different things.
Right, and I mean that specific area
Yeah.
really doesn't need the same level of treatment without it being occupied
Yeah.
versus when it is. So I'm sure there's some sort of strategy for a ramp up from like day one to when things are starting to get built.
Yeah, and economy of scale, we have the ability to do quite a bit initially, even with what we currently have and with contracts as well. So we would be able to handle the initial move, but obviously to gear up to handle it as efficiently as possible.
Okay. And while you're up here, Roger, I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to go visit the mosquito impoundment areas with residents with me and explain exactly what's going on. I know you're a pretty busy guy, so thank you for taking the time out of your day.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Roger.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
One other thing to consider related to revenues and expenses, particularly revenues, the results of the constitutional amendment in November will have an impact on long-term revenues within the expansion area. Obviously, it'll impact the county as a whole, but also impact the expansion area.
Correct, yes. Good point, thank you. Parks and Rec. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. For the record, Joy Harthorne, Parks and Recreation Director. I'm often asked, what is the benefit of Parks and Recreation in a community? Today, I'd like to highlight the key benefits that Park and Recreation services bring to your community. These benefits extend beyond recreational activities and contribute to the economic growth, public health, and environmental sustainability for our residents. Parks are much more than just places to play. They are essential public assets that strengthen our neighborhoods. Well-maintained parks add value to the overall community. Every investment we put in parks is an investment in our residents' health, safety, and future. Yep. This map is an overview of all of our county maintained parks and recreational facilities. Our park system includes over 45 parks, beaches, golf course, boat ramps, athletic complexes, community centers, and special use facilities. That's more than 11,000 acres of recreational public land use used to enrich the lives of our residents. Our county park system is more than just a collection of parks and green spaces. It's a network of community assets. Our goal is to ensure that every resident has access to quality parks, no matter where they are in our county. Parks are essential community infrastructure. I know sometimes when people think of infrastructure, they may think of roads and utilities, but parks are important infrastructure as well, providing spaces for recreation, fostering community, and enhancing the quality of life that makes our county the great place to live, work, and visit. Parks support economic growth. Sporting events bring visitors who spend money on restaurants, hotels, retail, and entertainment, while also generating revenue and supporting jobs in our local economy. Through sports tourism, we've generated over $31.3 million for this community. A part of that economic success is due to the conditions of our fields. Well-maintained parks and athletic facilities serve residents every day while also attracting regional and national tournaments and events, making St. Lucie County a destination for sports tourism. Parks enhance the life of our residents. Having access to parks is an important public asset and service that benefits all of our county residents. Parks promote health and wellness by supporting and engaging physical activity, mental wellness, and healthier lifestyles. We all know that healthy residents contribute to a more healthy and vibrant community. Reminds me of the young guy, I call him young, but he's 91, that comes to the Finn Center and he walks every morning. And he said that having that cool place to walk has increased his years on life and also has made him a more vibrant person. And he walks around and he talks to us every morning. And he's so happy to have that one little place to come and walk in the mornings. Parks add environmental value. Parks serve as natural landscapes by helping to reduce stormwater runoff and protect water quality. Green spaces serve as natural buffers that reduce flooding and erosion while supporting resilient infrastructure. Parks protect natural resources, improve environmental resilience, and preserve the landscape that we define as our county. Investing in these spaces benefit both our residents now and future. Hopefully not too many in the future. Parks bring community value. Our events and programs increase activity in our parks while benefiting surrounding businesses and commercial areas. Over the past year, we've hosted more than 30 special events and recreational programs that provide affordable, family-friendly opportunities for our residents of all ages. And it helps them to stay connected and active in their community. These events create memorable experiences and give our staff an opportunity to connect with our residents. I was having a conversation with our special events coordinator, and he shared with me that last year while he was playing Santa, a little girl ran up to him, and she had just one wish. She wished for her mom to get better from cancer. And he said at that moment he realized that we are the joy and hope that some of these families really need. Parks hold recreational value. Having a public golf course ensures that residents of all ages and skill levels have affordable access to the game. It provides opportunities for recreation, instruction, youth development, and community engagement, while serving as a valuable public amenity that enhances our overall park system. PGA Hope, that's our program that introduces and teaches golf to military veterans. And I've been told that giving them and teaching them the game of golf really is a tool to help them heal. The benefits of parks and recreation are reflected in the measurable accomplishments that our department has achieved over the year. More than 1,300 participants have completed life-related training opportunities. This strong participation reflects the growing interest in water safety. Increasing operational hours at all 3 of our pools were a major contributor to that increase in participation. Our aquatics programs serve as a safety hub for our residents. We just received a grant from DCF so that we could purchase a Riptide stimulator. So we'll now be teaching our residents and staff how to survive in a controlled environment if they were ever caught in a rip current. Those are the kind of programs that we do in aquatics. It also reminds me of a young man who wanted to get in the pool but didn't have access to the pool because he couldn't physically get in it. So he came over to Ravenswood and he was able to use the chairlift and he was able to get in the pool. And his mom was so excited that he was able to swim. And we were so impressed by him that we made him an honorary lifeguard. Tournaments. We host over 728 games last year. The youth games attributed to 562 of those games, and the adults 166. These tournaments support recreational opportunities while attracting visitors to our county. We continuously look at ways to improve the services and programs in our department. Take the Golf We Links program. We made improvements to that program, and the golf course generated approximately $125,000 in revenue since incorporating those improvements. This demonstrates how strategic programming can create sustainable financial returns. This slide highlights several of the capital and maintenance improvements and park enhancements completed over the past year. We've replaced the boardwalk and put in new observation decks at Waveland Beach Park, improving public access while enhancing visitor safety and protecting sensitive natural resources. The construction of the 7,200 square foot cart storage facility helps protect county equipment and improve maintenance operations. The Pepper Park Playground upgrade, which now includes ADA features. This is a reflection of our commitment to providing recreational opportunities to all of our residents. We invested in our athletic facilities by installing lights at Longwood Regional Park, improving infields and drainage at 6 of our county ball fields, making golf practice improvements at Fairwinds Golf Course. These projects increase field availability, extend playing hours, and reduce weather-related closures. This is just a snapshot of the department's accomplishments and the progress made over the past years. These achievements reflect our strategic approach to balancing investments across all areas in the department while ensuring the resources are effectively and responsibly used. This also demonstrates our ongoing commitment to enhancing parks, facilities, programs, and natural spaces that improve the quality of life for our residents. By continuing to invest in both the preservation of existing assets and development of new recreational opportunities, we are creating accessible spaces that are the cornerstone of our community. Our department in action is serving our community every day. Our team works year-round to provide safe, accessible, and enjoyable parks and recreation experience for the residents and visitors of our county. Park maintenance crews at work. Field renovation projects are needed to restore field quality and ensure consistent, reliable playing conditions. Youth sports in action. The recreation team saw a need to provide intramural sports for younger residents. And boom, the creation of Tiny Tots came to life. This is an invaluable program. There are not many programs for that age group. Senior fitness. Our Aqua Fit class started with only 5 participants. We're now up to over 50, and the class continues to grow. We're exploring adding the classes at our other 2 pools. What first started off as a fitness class has now grown into social hour after class. So our aquatics program not only brings fitness to our seniors, we fill their overall needs. Beach maintenance and renovation projects are done by our trades crew. Having an in-house trades crew is such a game changer. It shifts maintenance from a reactive, high-cost contracting model to a proactive, cost-effective system that saves money while improving service quality and response time to repairs and maintenance. And that's a mighty crew of 9 doing that throughout the whole county. We have staff interacting with our residents every day during our summer, at summer camp and our award-winning Rec and Roll, which is our mobile program. They build relationships with residents by creating safe, welcoming, and engaging experiences. Providing safe parks for our residents and visitors is one of our highest priorities. Installing security cameras is an important tool that helps us enhance safety while protecting the community's investment in our parks facilities. And that is in connection with the Sheriff's Office. So, whether it's a child playing at a playground, a family enjoying a picnic, a parent cheering their child on at a tournament, a senior stretching it out in Aquafit, or a visitor enjoying our beaches, parks enrich the lives of everyone in our community. So as I conclude today's presentation, I hope I've answered that question. How are parks beneficial to our community? I want to thank you for the opportunity to highlight the many ways your Parks and Recreation Department improves the lives of residents in St. Lucie County. Your continued support allows us to provide safe, welcoming, meaningful programs and lasting memories to the residents and visitors. Thank you.
Thanks, Joy.
Any
Great
questions?
presentation. Questions, comments? I would just say I saved the email that Eric sent out with the Riptide simulator because I have to go to one of those. So I think it's going to be so cool. So
Come on
yeah,
over.
I'm excited.
It will replicate what the natural waters will give you, so will help you stay safe.
Yep,
God forbid
absolutely.
you're ever
Yes.
caught in a riptide.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Planning and Development Services, Ben.
Rest easy, Ben's not here to go over a development project, he's here to highlight a development.
All right, good morning, Commissioners, County Administration, and to the residents here in the audience and also those that are watching online. My name is Ben Balser, and I serve as the Planning and Development Services Director. I've had the pleasure of being a St. Lucie County employee for over 14 years now in various roles. Currently, I oversee the department's Planning and Zoning, Building and Code, and Geographic Information Systems Division, as well as the county's economic development incentive programs and impact fees. When most people think about our department, they may think about the many public hearings or development applications that come before the Board of County Commissioners. And that's certainly one aspect of what we do, but there is a lot of work that happens before and after those board meetings. It happens at the permit counter. It happens in plan review comments, in building inspections, during site plan review, in code compliance cases, and in conversations with people that just want to know what they can do with their property or what is happening in their community. We're a department of 68 employees currently, and we touch a lot of people's daily lives, even when the work is not always obvious. And while much of that work happens behind the scenes, the results are very public. You see it when a family can move into a safe, well-built home. You see it when a neighborhood concern is addressed before it becomes a larger problem. You see it when a resident can look at an online map and understand what is being developed nearby, and they can participate in the public process. And you feel it when new growth helps contribute to the infrastructure and services needed to support that growth. So at the heart of it, we're not just reviewing applications. We take the board's adopted policy along with state law, we apply them to support safe development, well-planned growth, and responsive service to our residents. One thing that I wanted to emphasize is that most residents don't come to us because they're interested in planning and zoning terminology, Florida Building Code sections, impact fee formulas, or GIS data layers. Some do, and we're happy to discuss those details with them, but for most people, they come to us because something is happening in their life. A homeowner may be repairing storm damage, replacing a roof, building a garage, or adding a bedroom for their growing family. A small business owner may have found a location and they need to know whether that spot is viable before they spend money and time on those improvements. A resident may be concerned about overgrowth on a property or something in their neighborhood that affects their quality of life. Or a family may see land that's being cleared down the road and want to know what's being built, how traffic is going to be handled, and whether they'll have a chance to speak before a decision is made. In those moments, county government can feel complicated, and frankly, it can feel intimidating. Our job is to make that process clearer, and when we do it well, residents don't just receive an answer, they gain confidence. They know what the rules are, they know what the next step is, and they know that their concern is heard. And they know that the county is trying to balance private property rights, public safety, and their quality of life in the development review process. One of the most important responsibilities is also one of the easiest to take for granted, making sure that buildings are safe. When someone walks into their home, visits a business, sends their child to daycare, or hires a contractor, they may not think about the plan review or the inspections behind that building. But that process really matters. Building codes exist to protect life and safety. Inspections help catch issues before they become failures. Contractor licensing helps protect residents from unqualified work. And code compliance helps make sure properties are maintained in a way that supports residents' quality of life. The numbers on this slide aren't just workload statistics. Almost 15,000 building permits means thousands of residents and businesses moving through construction, repair, renovation, and investment. Over 5,200 inspections means that our staff are in the field every day helping make sure that the construction was done correctly. And more than 2,000 code cases means residents' concerns were reviewed and community standards were maintained. And reducing outstanding liens by over $200,000 means lien amnesty improved and resolved longstanding code issues, and properties were back into compliance. The work itself is already complex, and as we talked about yesterday, state legislation continues to shorten the review timelines and increase expectations for how quickly local government responds. But our responsibilities don't change. We still must be accurate, we still have to be consistent, and we still have to protect the public. That's why our frontline service matters. For residents, it means fewer unnecessary delays, safer structures, clearer communication, and confidence that the county is keeping pace while still protecting the public. The Planning and Zoning Division is where the county's long-term vision meets real development proposals. This is where the adopted board policy becomes practical review. A site plan is not just a drawing, a rezoning is not just a change in use, and a conditional use permit is not just another agenda item. These decisions help shape people's experience in their community. They affect what is going to be built next to neighborhoods. They impact traffic, drainage, compatibility, public facilities, and the overall pattern of growth in the county. They also give applicants and property owners more predictability. When we provide clear guidance, people understand that what the rules are, and they make better decisions before they spend significant time and resources. And when residents understand the process, they're able to provide meaningful input. And that matters because growth is not an abstract issue in the county. People see it, they feel it, they ask questions about it. They want to know whether the county is paying attention and is planning for it. And our department is one of the main places where those questions are answered. We review development applications for consistency with the board's adopted policies. We coordinate with other county departments and outside review agencies. We facilitate public participation. We support advisory boards and public hearings, and we try to identify issues before they become larger problems. That work helps build public trust. It doesn't mean everyone will agree with every decision or recommendation, but it does mean that the process is transparent, professional, and grounded in the adopted standards. And that's how we help guide growth that fits the county's vision. Some of the most important services we provide aren't always visible to the public, but they affect everyone. Impact fees are one example. As the county grows, new development creates demand on infrastructure and public services such as roads, parks, libraries, public buildings, law enforcement, and fire and EMS. Impact fees help connect growth to those growth-related needs. That matters because residents want to know that growth isn't just happening. They want to know that growth is contributing to the facilities and the services needed to support it. It isn't just an accounting function, it's a public trust function. The county needs clear processes for fee calculations, impact fee credits, revenue tracking, and capital planning. And the public needs confidence that development impacts are being evaluated and managed responsibly. Geographic Information Systems, or GIS, is another example. Many residents may not know how much GIS data impacts county services. You saw it yesterday in the presentation with all of the maps that administration presented. GIS supports accurate addressing. It supports emergency response. It supports floodplain information, damage assessment, infrastructure planning, road maintenance, zoning and land use information, and public-facing dashboards. When residents can find information online instead of calling multiple offices, that's a service improvement. When emergency response data is accurate, that's a public safety benefit. When departments are using shared maps and reliable data, that's better government. When the public can see planned infrastructure improvements or what development is happening in their area, that's transparency. So impact fees and GIS may not be the first things residents think about when they think of our department, but they're essential in how the county manages growth and delivers service and information. They make growth more accountable, the county more transparent, and public information easier to use. So when we talk about planning and development services, I think it's important not just to describe the department by its functions. We process permits, yes, we conduct inspections, yes, we review site plans and enforce codes, and yes, we maintain GIS data and administer impact fees. But the reason those services matter is because of the outcomes. A permit isn't just a permit. It may be a family or business repairing a roof, adding space for a parent, or rebuilding after a storm. A code case isn't just enforcement. It may be a neighborhood that's asking for help. A public hearing isn't just a process requirement. It may be the only opportunity a resident has to learn or speak about a project that affects their daily life. An impact fee calculation isn't just a number, it's part of making sure that growth contributes to the public services and facilities that it requires. And GIS doesn't just create maps. It's how emergency responders find an address. It's how the public sees what infrastructure projects the county is planning, or how a resident understands what's being built next door. That's the story of our department. We help people build safely, we help businesses open and expand, we help neighborhoods maintain standards, we help residents understand growth, and we help connect development to infrastructure. And we make sure that public information is more accessible. The work we do can be technical, but the purpose is very practical. Protecting residents, supporting neighborhoods and businesses, maintaining transparency, and helping the county grow responsibly. And thank you for your time, and I'm available for any questions that you have.
Thank you, Ben. Questions, comments?
I'm sure.
Commissioner Glassing?
I just want to say thank you, Ben. I think that under your leadership, you've helped modernize the Planning and Development Services Department in a number of ways, and there continues to be advances in technology, and thank you for being open to them, and just thank you all around for doing what you guys do over there.
Thank you very much. We have a great team.
Indeed. Thank you. All right, now we have Josh with Port Inlet and Beaches.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
Members of the board. For those that are in the audience and listening, my name is Joshua Revord, and I'm the Director of Port Inlet and Beaches. I don't have a very lengthy presentation today. It was cut down quite a bit. I was told that I couldn't provide numbers, so I've memorized those numbers. All joking aside, today is really about focusing in on what Port Inlet and Beaches brings to our community and the department's efficiency and value. So before I get into presentation here, I want to kind of highlight a few things, just some stats, just to give a better sense of what our little department does for the county. We have a staffing of 4. We have 4 FTEs, including me. We currently have about $20 million in active grants between the port and our beaches. And we've basically coordinated and implemented over $50 million in federal investment over the last 6 years to create those things that not only residents but our visitors cherish: our beaches, our inlet, and our port. So really we just want to focus in on that efficiency because we're really passionate about what we do in our department. We love the water. We love the ability to protect what we cherish. And so that's kind of the backdrop for some of the projects that we've outlined in this presentation. On this slide here, you'll see that, our challenge long-term, if property tax referendum does move forward, is that the port and the erosion district will be substantially impacted. The good thing for us is that we've found ways to be very, very efficient. Over the last 10 to 20 years, we've been able to take essentially those funds from the erosion district and spend only 10 cents on the dollar to implement these projects that are really, really important for our community. So we'll go through a few projects. I'll highlight some projects too that aren't on there, just to showcase some of the exciting things that we hope to bring to the board for consideration moving forward. Next slide, please. The first 2 projects were recently completed. As you know, this department coordinates with the state agencies as well as the federal agencies, and we work with our legislators to ensure that we put into practice those things that we need to create the shoreline protection that we need along our barrier island. For us, it's storm damage protection, but for everyone else in the community, it ends up being securing those property values and then providing those things that are necessary to support our tourism industry. As everyone knows here, tourism is the main component of our economy, and beaches rank on the top 3 no matter how you slice the equation. So these are very, very important for us to continue to be competitive with our counterparts to the north and south and to provide those resources we need to keep our economy moving forward. These 2 projects represent projects that are in critically eroded sections of beach as dictated by the state of Florida. And we also want to make sure that we stay on top of these, because we all seen what happened just recently. When things kind of go sideways, it becomes a great big spectacle, and it's hard to get yourself out of that hole if you're not prepared and have a plan. Next slide, please. Port Inlet and Beaches has also been tasked with trying to make some advancements at the port. For the longest time, the port has stayed dormant. We're working with Director Shipyards and with newly acquired land to make some forward momentum on our parks and some of those offerings that we have at the port. We've been working very diligently on two particular projects. One's our Harbor Point Regional Boat Ramp project. You guys know this project. It is a great project. I think the main theme in this project is the partnerships that we're garnering. So in this particular situation, we have funding from FWC that's been secured. We have funding from FINE that's been secured, from FPUA that has been secured. So we're building quite a consortium of partners to make sure that this project moves forward and becomes a hallmark for our region, putting us on the map, providing the accommodations that have been somewhat dampened over the past with not having the accommodations for the waterside accessibility within the inlet complex. A vital component of that is our new roadway corridor. That's 50% funded by DOT. We're happy to report that we're at 100% plans. We're working through some temporary construction easements, and that project will go out to bid here shortly. So our hope is that long term we get this project, the roadway, done, and then ultimately dovetail into our regional boat ramp facility, and then the board will have opportunities to see what they would like to do with the remainder of the site. It represents one of the last enclaves that the county owns that's buildable, that can provide those recreational and marine commercial elements that we would hope that would help not only with the accessibility, but with the economy. Next slide, please. Another good project that we've been working towards since I took this position over 3 years ago is to make some headway on port development, specifically the terminal with Director Shipyards. I'm happy to report that we did get bids for the terminal improvement project that was previously proposed by Director Shipyards. We are in the process of signing that contract now. So in the next couple months, you'll be happy to see that we'll be making some real good headway on making our terminal comparable to those other industries down in South Florida. One of the things that has put us at a disadvantage is that we currently have open sand areas on our terminal. That's not consistent with what the patrons of this facility would expect. This will help us cap those areas as well as to utilize the previously established utility loop that'll help us maximize our future economy there at the port, and ultimately improve the space so that we can accept 100% more vehicles onto the HARD when this project's completed. Next slide, please. Another exciting development, and we're moving towards delicately, is the Museum Point redevelopment project. This board has approved moving forward with some ideas at this particular park, which would help dovetail with our port development, as well as to provide us with revenue opportunities. We are moving through that space now. We're happy to report that we're getting some good feedback from our consultants, and we hope that we'll ultimately bring this to the board for consideration at some point in the future, ultimately to make the port better than what it is today, and to really exemplify the purchase of the port, which we invested in, and it's our opportunity to make it even better than it is today. Next slide, please. Anchoring limitation areas. I've updated most of the board on this. We are live now. Our partnership with the city is going well. We're out there every single day proactively providing information to the patrons of our area. This has been a growing concern for most of the residents here in St. Lucie County, and we're happy to report that we're getting good feedback from the folks that we do encounter. Ultimately, as I expressed to you before, the idea here is to be proactive, to be out in the field, to ensure that we're giving people the right information and weeding out those folks that are coming here and not tending to their vessels, really just to improve our navigability through the inlet, as well as to provide those water quality benefits that we hope that will precipitate from this particular program. I think that's my last slide. There's a couple things that I'd like to highlight as well. We have our O&M dredging with the Army Corps of Engineers that's about to go out to bid. That'll be the turning basin and the main navigation channel. We're promoting that 28-foot depth to provide us with those things that are necessary to propel us into future port development. We've been doing the derelict vessel program within our department, and we're happy to report we're on our 28th vessel being removed within the inlet complex. So we're having really good coordination with FWC and law enforcement to get ahead of those. I hope no one's getting call after call after call on those now, because we're certainly making some headway. We also, too, inside our department, take care of FTZs, and that's a growing thing in our region, specifically with the Kingsway Corridor. We have Apollo Group that's now an active FTZ. We have Oculus, who's now an active FTZ, and I expect that that'll continue to grow. So we'll coordinate with those businesses and continue to move that program forward. Our inlet sand trap is currently out to bid. We'll be doing that here this fall as well. So happy to report that our initial construction was successful, and we have all the sand that we need there to make that initial push. And it will ultimately become a vital component in our future management of our shoreline, ultimately helping us with the future structures that we continue to pursue as well. So a lot of things going on, master plan. We're very excited about the future. We're hopeful that this board and administration sees the benefit of our small little team and all the things that we're pursuing. So thank you, and any questions I'll be more than happy to ask.
Absolutely, you guys are a powerhouse with just the four of you. Questions, comments?
Nope.
Yeah, I would just say, intermittently we obviously get a lot of guff, if you will, about the money that is spent on the beach renourishment. When actuality, though, when you look at how much we actually contribute towards what's federally funded, is a very small amount of taxpayer dollars going into it, and it's because of the work of making sure we have those accesses, because of the port and their team. And, I would just say to anyone that says, why do we spend the money to renourish the beaches? Well, when you think about the fishing industry, the coastal industry, boating industry, it generates billions of dollars in economic output. And so how can you really quantify and put a price on the importance of that? So thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Well, with that, we're going into pre-trial program, drug lab, and inmate medical. Morning, Frank.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair and fellow commissioners. I am Frank Amandro. I am the director for our criminal justice program. As you know, our division oversees 4 key programs: the pretrial program, the drug lab, criminal justice information systems, as well as our inmate medical program. I would like to begin with our pretrial program. This program gives eligible defendants the opportunity to remain out of jail while awaiting trial. At a defendant's first appearance hearing, a judge may assign them to our program. From there, we provide enhanced supervision, namely GPS electronic monitoring. This approach helps keep our jail population down, reduces our inmate medical costs, allows defendants to continue to work, attend school, and participate in treatment programs while awaiting trial. Next slide, please. In 2025, almost 800 defendants were assigned to our program. That resulted in an annual taxpayer savings of $4.5 million by saving nearly 45,000 jail bed days. The cost of housing a defendant at the St. Lucie County Jail is $93 a day. And like everything else, that cost continues to rise. But the savings go far beyond dollars and cents. The socioeconomic impact of an arrest can be devastating, not only for the individual, but also for their family and the broader community. An arrest can affect future income, employment opportunities, family stability, and a person's ability to move forward, which can lead to intergenerational poverty. It can also place significant emotional strain on families, including children who may experience anxiety, depression, and feelings of insecurity. The costs include direct expenses to our criminal justice system and indirect costs of loss of tax revenue and increased social welfare spending. At last count, an arrest affidavit hit 14 different departments by the time an officer makes an arrest of a defendant. On average, 85% of our defendants successfully complete our program. Many defendants have thanked our pretrial officers for their professionalism, their compassion, and support in helping them complete the program and to turn their lives around for the better. Next slide, please. Our drug lab also plays an important role in the success of our pretrial program. Defendants assigned to pretrial are required to be drug tested, often multiple times per week, depending on the judge's orders. We also provide drug testing for defendants assigned to drug court, mental health court, family court, veterans court, as well as for DCF, DJJ, and many other agencies. Last year, we provided more than 25,000 drug tests across 3 collection sites, the Fort Pierce Courthouse, Lingate, and Okeechobee. Next slide, please. We also recently added the inmate medical program to our division. As you know, the county assumed responsibility for our inmate medical services from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office in July of 2024 due to the rising cost of inmate medical. Added site off-site medical care was costing the county about $10 million a year. We have contracted with a new inmate medical provider, NAVCare. Next slide. And while it took time to understand and fine-tune procedures, policies, and practices, we have reduced off-site medical spending by 75%. This year, we budgeted $2 million for off-site medical, and we are on track for coming under budget. This process would not have been possible without the incredible hard work of Alice Sennett and Rick Camarno, who spent countless hours working with NAVCare and jail staff to improve the inmate medical program. I would also be remiss if I didn't recognize the board, as well as Courtney and State Representative Dana Trabalsi for champion House Bill 1023, which capped what medical providers can charge for inmate medical services at 110% of Medicare. Since the bill's passage in 2024, we have avoided more than $17 million in medical bills. Next slide. Oh, sorry. Our criminal, got ahead of myself. Our criminal justice information teams, Christopher Baker and Mike Clare, also work behind the scenes to keep all our software programs running effectively and efficiently. They provide critical support to our judiciary and a number of our other criminal justice agencies. In closing, what makes the Criminal Justice Division successful is the strength of our working relationships with the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, the State Attorney's Office, the Public Defender's Office, the judiciary, and all of our criminal justice partners working together. Also important is the support and leadership of our county attorney and our county administrative team. We will continue to strengthen these relationships through key stakeholder meetings, such as the Public Safety Coordinating Council meeting, and through our shared commitment to public safety, fiscal responsibility, and meaningful outcomes for our community. And I'm open for any questions.
Thank you, Frank.
Okay.
Questions, comments?
No, thank you for what you do.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, we have Joanne with property acquisitions next.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, county administration, county attorney, and members of the public who are with us and or joining online. My name is Joanne Riley. I'm the Property Acquisition Director. I've had the pleasure of serving the residents of St. Lucie County for 30 years in various positions. The Property Acquisition Department consists of 4 full-time employees. The department was created on October 1st of 2025. And prior to that, we reported to the county attorney. In today's situation, we report to the county administrator. The Property Acquisitions Division provides various services to the residents of the county as well as all county departments. Some of the things we find ourselves working on these days are acquisitions of lands, facilities, easements, and rights of way on behalf of the county departments. We coordinate the necessary due diligence on each parcel before we take title to the property. We maintain original deeds and documents of the properties that the county has acquired, along with subdivision, roads, easements, environmental lands, and various projects that take place in the county. We also assist the Planning and Development Services Department in the review of site plans to ensure that sufficient right-of-way is available for the project. and also to protect the right-of-way protection plan adopted by the county commissioners. We process right-of-way permits for utility providers who want to install utilities within the county's right-of-way. We process petitions for abandonments. We prepare revocable license agreements for folks that may want to put a fence in a utility easement. We route those to the departments for review and comment. If there's no objections, those are approved by county staff. We also work with Planning and Development Services and Public Works on processing road impact fee credit agreements. We reserve street names for the entire county, regardless of whether it's Port St. Lucie County, St. Lucie Village, and we coordinate that effort with public safety to eliminate duplication of street names. We also process escheated parcels from the clerk of court, those parcels where the taxes have not been paid. They have been on the list of lands available for 3 years, and it automatically terminates back to the county. The county then decides whether we have a need for the property. If we don't, we reach out to the cities if it's in their jurisdiction, and perhaps we convey it to them. And if we have parcels of insignificant size or shape, we have a surplus property ordinance that also directs us as to what we can and cannot do with that property. We also monitor the tax deed sales and the foreclosure sales, and we have recently been bidding on some of those properties because obviously it's a little cheaper getting it off of the tax deed sale as opposed to purchasing it from the landowners. Some of our accomplishments from last year: we processed 323 right-of-way permits. We reviewed and commented on 468 planning and development applications. We assisted in facilitating the new county ordinance that allows for the administrative approval of the revocable license agreements. We prepared 54 revocable license agreements. We processed 8 right-of-way donations to the county by virtue of site plan approval for those roads that had insufficient right-of-way, again, leaning towards the right-of-way protection plan. We facilitated several abandonments last year. We've acquired approximately 436 acres of environmentally sensitive lands for preservation. Most notably, there are several I'd like to point out. We purchased a 399-acre parcel adjacent to the county's Cypress Creek Preserve. We also acquired a 7.71-acre parcel along 10 Mile Creek, which assisted the county in preserving 1,166 linear feet of shoreline while improving the county's community rating score and reducing resident insurance costs through the National Flood Insurance Program. We also acquired some parcels up on the Turnpike feeder road within the Scrub J corridor. We acquired a building located at 8881 South US Highway 1. Some of you may know it as the old Liberty Medical Building, to relocate and consolidate existing operations into one facility for enhanced citizen access. And just a couple of other things. We sold the Rawton Road Annex and negotiated an 18-month lease back from the City of Port St. Lucie in conjunction with the renovations of the Liberty Building. In closing, some of our initiatives for this coming budget year are to continue to acquire properties as directed by the county administration and county departments, to continue coordinating the half-cent sales tax initiative projects, processing right-of-way permits, reviewing planning and development applications, monitoring tax deeds and foreclosure sales, and we have also begun to digitize our records to ensure that readily available to the public. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Questions, comments?
Just a comment. You learn something new every day. I didn't realize you were the gatekeeper of the street names to prevent duplicity. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's very important to public safety, and you know, we have had to rename some streets wherein the developer hasn't gotten the appropriate approval, and it gets through the platting process, not necessarily in our jurisdictions, but others, and we reach out as soon as we notice it that it's going to be a public safety concern. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Speaking of public safety, that was a perfect intro.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, for the record, I'm Ron Goretto, the Public Safety Director. Joining me this morning is Assistant Public Safety Director Sonia Hawkins. Today we're going to showcase how your investment in the Public Safety Department translate into a safer, more resilient St. Lucie County. We proactively mitigate hazards and provide an immediate lifeline for approximately 400,000 residents across 688 square miles of territory. Before we begin our operational data, it is vital to anchor this presentation in our foundational purpose. The St. Lucie County Public Safety Department exists to deliver an immediate elite lifeline to our citizens while proactively building countywide resilience. Our purpose is realized through a unified framework across multiple dedicated divisions. We are the strategic shield that prepares and protects through all hazards emergency management and specialized radiological readiness, connects and coordinates by operating the county-wide centralized heartbeat of 911 emergency communications, secures and serves by maintaining public safety, accessibility, and peace of mind on our beaches, in our neighborhoods, and across our agricultural zones. Ultimately, our purpose is to ensure that no matter the crisis, be it a personal emergency, a stray animal hazard, or a major coordinated immediate or major regional disaster, St. Lucie County has a coordinated and immediate effective response plan to save lives, minimize damage, and protect taxpayers. Under emergency management, resilience is built before the disaster strikes. In 2025, our emergency management team executed 28 public outreach and education events to prepare our neighborhoods. We have sustained that aggressive posture in 2026, already completing over 25 public events to ensure our citizens are self-sufficient and disaster ready. Under 911, which is our communication center, is the heartbeat of the county emergency response. In 2025, our team managed an incredible 542,401 total calls, meaning we answer the call for help more than 500,000 times. So far in 2026, we have handled over 200,000 calls, maintaining a continuous life-saving connection to our citizens in their most critical needs. Next slide, please. True public safety means being ready for the unpredictable. Our protocols move far beyond hurricanes to cover floods, wildfires, tornadoes, pandemics, industrial spills, structural collapses, and security threats. We ensure that no matter the crisis, St. Lucie County has a coordinated, immediate, and effective response plan to minimize property damage and protect lives. Being prepared is a part of readiness. The 2024 tornadoes were an experience for some and a wake-up call for many. This incident and an event helped our team and partners expand their focus on response and recovery and understand the need to stay alert and ready. The experience helped the Emergency Management Division reevaluate the training needs of our BOCC staff and partners in preparing for the unexpected. The most critical asset during an emergency is accurate, rapid information. Through Alert St. Lucie, we possess the targeted capability to push real-time alerts and urgent evacuation routing directly into the pockets of our residents. This system cuts through the noise, reduces public panic, and directly accelerates life-saving operations when seconds count.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I'm going to go over your 911 division. So we do have a countywide interoperability 911 center. Our centralized 911 center is a model of operational efficiency and safety. Every single emergency call for law enforcement and fire and/or rescue across the entire county drops directly into our center. So therefore, we share our center with fire rescue. This eliminates dangerous delays and creates a single, seamless, protective network for our community. We have to remember, seconds count. When our systems do go down, and Daniel alluded to this earlier with IT. So as much as we would like to rely on technology, and most of us do, We must have redundancy in everything that we do, especially when it comes to 911 operations. It has come times when our women and our men had to go old school, as we call it. They had to write tickets, they had to use the radios in order to keep our men and women out there in our community ready for action. So, as much as we love our CAD system, which is our computer-aided dispatch center, it does have a little hiccups, but we do have redundancy in that process. I also want to remind everyone, because oftentimes people say, well, don't you have enough dispatchers? The answer is no, but the national shortage is also there. So as much as we strive to keep people there, sometimes we do go a little short. Our regional partners. We serve as a unified dispatch hub for the Fort Pierce Police Department, the Port St. Lucie Police Department, and St. Lucie County Sheriff Department. But the bottom line is, this regional partnerships deliver an immense return for St. Lucie County by centralizing operations. We completely eliminated drop transfers, unified real-time data sharing, and get first responders to the scene faster. This centralized model saves tax dollars while optimizing public safety and interoperability. Now we want to talk a little bit about animal safety. So our public safety extends to our streets, neighborhoods, and agriculture zones. Our animal safety teams protect residents and pets alike, managing stray populations, domestic incidents, and livestock safely across all 418 square miles. This high-demand service responded to 4,841 calls in 2024, and it jumped to 5,812 field and shelter calls in 2025. Year to date, we have actively pacing at 2,286 calls, demonstrating a sustained daily impact on neighborhood safety. Now, our TNVR strategy and operational, we are tackling stray populations. I'm quite sure many of you received those calls about those stray cats, but our team is actively a part of that, and we're trying to handle that situation. So destabilized community cat colonies stops exponential breeding and builds a barrier against rabies. Now the metrics for this here, an onboarding of a second veterinarian partner in 2025, we shattered our previous operational limits. In 2024, our single vendor baseline was just 99 surgeries, but with that additional partner, we went up to 689 in 2025. So in 2026, we have already executed 268 surgeries, bringing our total impact to 1,056, stabilizing these animals. This initiative mitigates public health risks and directly reduces long-term shelter intake costs. Now, answering the calls, because again, and this is, I believe it was Commissioner Fowler. When the residents inquired and you made the call to run and your question was, why do you stop at 5 o'clock? And why are you not 7 days a week? So Ron and Maria, they went to task with our animal safety officers, and they came up with a plan to meet your needs and the residents of St. Lucie County. Ocean Rescue. So now everybody knows about our Ocean Rescue there, and Commissioner Fowler with our representative there. We have that nice little walkway and everything there. But we just want to remind you of our 10 team members out there. They're doing their very best to monitor our beach lines. So right now, our life metrics there, our Ocean Rescue Division provides elite frontline medical and aquatic protection at Pepper Park and Waveland beaches. In 2026 alone, our lifeguards have already performed 17 life-saving water rescues and rendered critical medical aid to 68 separate occasions. We keep our beaches safe, protecting both our residents and the tourism economy. With Park, and Joy alluded to this a little earlier, We believe our natural resources should be safe and accessible to everyone. Through a tight partnership with Parks and Recreations, we have integrated wheelchair accessibility mats and deployed 2 public use beach wheelchairs at the Pepper Park Beach. We are actively removing barriers so that elderly and mobility challenged residents can experience our coastline. Prevention is our best tool. Partner with St. Lucie Aquatics. We launched the joint Rip Current Public Safety Training Program utilizing our new Slipstream endless swim machines. And as for our guarded beaches there, as you know, we do guard 2 of our beaches there, 1 north and 1 south. So Ron and I are very pleased with our 10 team members for Ocean Rescue.
To conclude, I want to highlight our Radiological Emergency Preparedness Division. This is a highly technical, federally scrutinized core capability that guarantees St. Lucie County is fully prepared to protect its population from complex radiological hazards. Achieving this level of readiness requires grueling, continuous evaluation. In 2026, our team has already successfully executed 17 specialized drills. Because of this rigorous discipline, St. Lucie County successfully fulfills 100% of its FEMA evaluated core capabilities, providing our residents with absolute peace of mind that we are prepared for any technical hazard. Commissioners, from our shores to our 911 dispatch consoles, from expanding animal safety to mastering complex radiological drills, your public safety department operates at an elite level. We're scaling our operations directly alongside St. Lucie County's growth to ensure exceptional service delivery. Every dollar invested here is a direct investment in a safer, more stable community. At this time, Sonia and I are available for any specific questions that you may have.
Thank you, guys. Great presentation. Yes, so proud of all the work that this department does. There's so many things that you guys do that even coming on, I didn't realize fell under, public safety, be it the COPCN ordinance, the emergency management plans for the ALS and the nursing homes and everything. But yes, I cannot thank you enough. It was such a win for this community. The feedback that we got from going 24/7 was just phenomenal. So really appreciate you guys putting your hats together and figuring out how to make that work on a tight budget. The other thing too, just a learning moment, and I'll probably refer over to Courtney. So one thing I also didn't realize for 20 years being on the other end of when officers need a tow truck and answering the phone for the 911 dispatchers so that I can get a truck to the scene for them, I've always taken for granted the fact that all of the calls, whether it was for Fort Pierce PD, Port St. Lucie, the Sheriff's Office, all came from one location. Fast forward to last year, Representative Danny Alvarez from the West Coast was running a bill that would have required all 67 counties to provide exactly just that, a unified 911 center. And again, just, I guess, being, having that luxury, I didn't realize that it was done any other way. Could you imagine if Fort Pierce had their own 911 and PSL, and now what happens when some sort of major event occurs and you have to try to coordinate that communication in one singular message? So some of the things that we just take for granted, but thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Other comments, questions?
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Gillespie?
So prior to even being on the board, I got to see you guys in action out at Spanish Lakes during Hurricane Milton.
Yes, sir.
The response to that was tremendous. The coordination between the state, Courtney as well, and other assets, you guys were able to really help the community. And in Florida, emergency management is one of the most important things because when all else goes down, you guys are the ones that are helping to maintain operations. So just thank you for that. And in addition to that, I see a lot of chatter online. People think, because I guess it used to be the case that lifeguards were the first thing that was cut from a budget. I mean, I feel like lifeguards are a very important part of our tourism and the overall safety of residents on the beach. Growing up, going to the beach, I think that that is definitely not one of the first things I would ever cut. So anyways, thank you guys for what you do.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Lowry.
Just want to say thank you to your department's been amazing. I've had a couple conversations since I've been in office, and you guys went and took the lead and helped accomplish some things that the community was lacking between our beach mats and our newly hurricane prepared guide for neurodivergent population and autism, which is available on download on the website if you need it. So thank you guys so much for being so wonderful.
Thank you. And I want to share that credit. It's not just the Sanjay and Ron show. It's actually the Public Safety Department staff, the team of almost or about 100 that make it happen. So although that Sanjay and I are kind of the phase of anytime something happens, we cannot do it without the amazing team that we have from all current 6 division managers and the rest of the staff to take the bull by the horns and make things happen. So we appreciate your support in making things happen. Again, our main thing is to ensure the safety and well-being of our residents and ensure that we have a safer, stronger, more resilient St. Lucie County. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we have public utilities.
Good morning, Commissioners, Madam Chair, Administration, and members of the public. I have a lot to cover, but I only have 8 slides, so if you have questions at the end, please let me know. I'll start with an overview of public utilities. Our focus is providing safe and reliable infrastructure to the residents and businesses that we serve. We currently serve more than 21,000 customers through our system. That may seem like a lot of customers, but here we've counted actual people that we serve, not just connections. So for example, we may have one master meter for one building or condo, and we actually serve all 200 units or customers in that building. The map on this slide gives a sense of the size of our service area, so you can envision the infrastructure that's required to support it. As we go through the slides, the main theme is planned investment in essential services. Our projects are focused on protecting public health, maintaining reliable service, meeting regulatory requirements, supporting responsible growth, and avoiding higher cost emergency decisions later. It's also important to note that both public utilities and solid waste operate as enterprise funds, which means we are funded through revenues received by the services we provide. We are not funded by ad valorem tax dollars. This slide summarizes the major focus areas driving our projects. Across both public utilities and solid waste, our investments are centered on capacity, reliability, regulatory compliance, and long-term service delivery. On the utility side, that includes new treatment capacity, utility conveyance projects, and our septic to sewer conversion project on North Hutchinson Island. These investments support safe and reliable water and wastewater service, cleaner waterways, and stronger system resiliency. On the solid waste side, the focus is disposal capacity and long-range planning. Landfill capacity takes years to permit, design, and construct, so planning ahead is critical. Overall, we are investing before systems become constrained. This allows us to support residents, businesses, housing, and the county's long-term economic stability in a planned and responsible way. As I mentioned on the last slide, one of our major utility focus areas is new water supply and treatment capacity. We currently have 2 major water treatment projects moving forward. The first is Central County Water Treatment Plant on Peacock Road, which includes a 2 million gallon per day reverse osmosis plant, new upper Floridian aquifer wells, and the raw water pipelines needed to bring water to the plants. The second is the Taylor Dairy Water Treatment and associated deep injection well project. This also includes a 2 million gallon per day reverse osmosis plant, new upper Floridian aquifer wells, pipelines, and a 7.4 million gallon per day deep injection well. You can see the rig for the deep injection well on this slide. These projects are a major step in strengthening the county's long-term water supply strategy. These projects create reliability, redundancy, and long-term control of our water supply. As the North and Central County areas continue to grow, we need the water supply and treatment infrastructure in place to serve those areas safely and reliably. It's important to note we're not overbuilding infrastructure, and any new development is required to, quote, pay their own way, including constructing off-site infrastructure required to serve them. These projects help reduce reliance on outside utility supply and give the county more control over its own resources. They also improve system redundancy, which means we have more flexibility if one facility, supply source, or service area is impacted. On this slide, you can see the 2 new ground storage tanks recently constructed at the Taylor Dairy site, which are currently undergoing leak testing. These are investments for safe drinking water, public health, responsible growth, and reliable essential service. The next major area is utility conveyance and extensions with environmental improvements. Several of these projects are focused on building out the regional backbone infrastructure needed to support reliable service across the county. That includes the ARP-funded water main and force main projects, which are all physically complete. We're just closing out that paperwork. The photo here was taken during the construction of our ARP project installing a water main and force main on Okeechobee Road. We're also continuing to work on the North Hutchinson Island septic to sewer project. This project is especially important because it helps reduce the aging septic impacts in a sensitive coastal area and supports cleaner waterways. An expansion to our holiday wine. Wow, where's my mind? It was just 4th of July.
I don't know, but I like it. Where are we going?
Holiday Pines wastewater plant is also moving forward in design. That project will expand existing wastewater treatment capacity to 1.2 million gallons a day, helping prepare for future demand in that service area. That project won't be constructed until development requires it. All right. The biggest takeaway for these projects is planning ahead. As service areas grow and infrastructure ages, we have to position the system before capacity becomes constrained. These projects allow us to expand service, remove aging septic impacts, improve reliability, and support environmental protection. They also help us avoid being reactive. Once capacity is constrained, projects become urgent, more expensive, and harder to deliver. By investing now, we're putting infrastructure in place ahead of demand without overbuilding and supporting reliable service for both existing communities and future growth. Also, this photo shows a picture of one of the vacuum chambers that's going in on North Hutchinson Island. I thought it's much larger than I expected, so I thought it was interesting to share. I'd also like to add that we have taken on these projects in the utility while continuing to run a compliant utility with exceptional customer service with a team of around 36. I'll shift now to solid waste. The county's baling and recycling facility is a major public asset. It's a 331-acre site and was Florida's first garbage baling facility. Today, it processes more than 800 tons of garbage each day and remains central to how we manage solid waste locally. One of the most important points on this slide is the useful life of the facility. Based on current planning, the facility has disposal capacity projected through 2064. The long-term capacity is extremely valuable because it allows the county to manage waste locally, maintain more control over our disposal costs, and continue providing reliable service to residents and businesses. You can see from this photo, we are constrained on space, kind of being shoehorned between the Turnpike and 95. So we've had to get creative conserving airspace and planning for our future. And as you can see, the major focus is capacity and long-range system planning. The landfill cell 5A expansion, which you can see on this slide, is a 13-acre lined cell that includes leachate and methane collection. The infrastructure is essential for regulatory compliance and continued disposal capacity. We're also planning beyond the immediate need. That includes cell 4B design, operational relocation design on the adjacent property we acquired from Tropicana, and a 50-year system forecast. If I go back to the last slide, where you see the weigh station, just north of that is where 4B would be planned to go. Preserving local disposal capacity reduces the future cost and risk of having to export waste outside the county. It also helps us avoid emergency decisions and maintain reliable service over the long term. Taken together, overall, these public utility projects reflect a planned long-term approach to infrastructure, investing before systems are constrained, protecting public health and environment, and maintaining reliable essential services for the residents and businesses of St. Lucie County. That is all I had to cover today. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer.
Thank you. Great presentation. Questions, comments? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have Patrick with Public Works.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Administration, and for those watching at home, my name is Patrick Diane. I'm the Public Works Director. I have the honor of serving as the head of the 101 full-time dedicated employees in your Public Works Department. There's a lot of words on this slide, so I'm going to spend some time on it. Good news, there's only 37 identical slides that follow that I have, so good for you guys. So what does Public Works do? At the core, what we do is provide essential foundation-level services for the health of our community. There's been a lot of investment and attention to the roadway network that the county maintains, and for good reason. The roadway network is an absolute lifeblood for our area. It is critical to transport goods and services, which directly lend to economic development. It allows people to get to work. It allows kids to get to school. It allows first responders to get to us in our time of need, which is a direct link to public safety. Drainage and stormwater management is a non-negotiable in Florida, but especially in a coastal community like St. Lucie County. And part of what we spend our time doing is to repair some of the ways that our area grew and the time that it grew in before modern stormwater regulations. As some of our older neighborhoods experience infill, there's just less and less places for water to go. And we can't just send it to Tide because we'd be repeating the sins of the past. So what we end up doing are neighborhood retrofits, which not only enhance those areas, but are much more difficult to do. I liken it to if you ever painted the inside of a house, try doing it without any furniture there versus having furniture in the way. It's just immensely more complicated. One of the other items that we manage is a FTE of 1, our artificial reef program. So for over 20 years, the county has been placing concrete and other material on the ocean floor outside of Fort Pierce Inlet, which has created juvenile fish habitat. It creates tourism interests for divers, and there are certain ones of them that hold an impressive array of the snapper grouper complex for bottom fishermen. Commissioner Clasby, you can see me later for specific coordinates. Okay. And we also manage our municipal services benefit unit, our FTE of 1. It's Barb. She manages that. And for those that don't know in the audience that may be watching at home, it's a unique financing mechanism where, in its simplest form, it allows a specific set of residents who are receiving a benefit to pay for that. We'll use the example of a lighting district. The county has about 30 lighting districts. So let's say some street or some neighborhood desires to have street lighting. Those residents would pay for the costs of the implementation, the operation, and the maintenance of those street lights. And that goes on the tax bill. Placing it on the tax bill allows it to be financed through a tangible asset. So it's backed by something that allows us to go out for financing, and all of those costs are passed through to the county. We don't make money on it, and those costs are directly related to the residents. That's also allowed us to implement our culvert assistance program for driveway culvert replacements, and it's allowed for the North Beach septic to sewer program to be financed as well. We do a lot of collaboration with our regional partners at the Transportation Planning Organization, the various cities. We have city roads and county roads that cross paths, and residents don't know and more than likely don't care whether they're driving on a city, state, or county roadway. They just want something that they see repaired if it's broken. And that really is enhanced by the relationships that we've made at those various levels. We have quite a bit of effort that goes into development review and permitting. We look at the traffic impacts, make sure that there's mitigation strategies that are being placed to keep us in line with our land development code and our comprehensive plan. In the top right, we see the various different types of capital projects. We'll be talking about capital a little bit later on in the conversation. But the goal of them is to leave things better than they were found, whether that's road expansions to deal with the growth that's already here or the growth that may be forthcoming, or water quality enhancements, again, trying to restore those neighborhoods with retrofits, or bridge and drainage and culvert improvement projects, sidewalks, create amenities to areas. And those may not be seen by every resident because they're pretty acute and they start and they finish. They take multiple years to program. But what is seen a lot of times is the maintenance. And that's really the day-to-day operations that Public Works does. And when you have a family of infrastructure as large as we do, there's always something to do. We'll take a look at some examples on this next slide. So these are a bunch of pictures, not as many words, and I'll be descriptive about some of them. So in the top left, what we see is one of our maintenance techs that's cutting the side of a road where a pavement section has failed. It happens to be on Curvy Loop Road. For those of you familiar with that road, it's the way that our neighborhoods, so our locals, get to Indian River State College. So what I see is somebody preparing a roadway to make sure that a student, who's typically a younger driver, can get to their place of higher education to better their life safely. And when I look across all of these photos, the one thing that jumps out to me as a consistency is people. We are truly people serving people. There's no AI robot that's going to come patch your pothole or blow out your drainage culvert or reset your street sign. So truly people serving people. The picture on the top right is an application called ChipSeal. We've been doing this for about 20 years. It helps us on our lower traffic, lower speed roadways. It is done at a fraction of the cost of hot mix asphalt, and benefits the residents who live on that roadway because they no longer have dust. It benefits the greater community because there's no longer particulate matter that's washing into our rivers and our estuary. And it benefits the county because we're not sending a motor grader out there twice a month to grade that roadway. That's been really a key to success. In the bottom middle, you'll see a pipe liner. That's a fiberglass liner that's being placed. It's a pipe within a pipe. And that's a strategy we've been doing for about a decade. And where it's appropriate, it allows us to rehabilitate a pipe crossing instead of replace. That helps the residents by not having to be detoured around an open cut. And it is cost effective. So those two elements highlight the fact that we're really looking at products that create efficiencies and allow us to cure maladies at the appropriate way with the appropriate pricing. On the bottom left, the traffic signal maintenance tech that you see being done right there. And I just want to kind of pull back a little bit because the other day I was really thinking about this. I have several friends who work for Florida Power Light. I often tease them about how you work for Monopoly, it must be nice. But I say this, that every time I come home, the refrigerator's still running, and when I push the switch on the wall, the light turns on. So having that reliability is something that I might take for granted. And I think traffic signals might be the same way. A motorist approaches a traffic signal. They expect it to function. They leave that intersection, and they expect to get to the next one and have it function. These are incredibly complex systems that have networks and wires and computers and conflict monitors and all the other things that go into a traffic signal. And maintaining the ones that we have takes an approach that is both efficient and economical. Now, we've outsourced the heavy maintenance on our traffic signals. We still operate them, but we've outsourced that because if Public Works maintained a bucket truck and the certifications for aerial lifts, we would have an underutilized piece of equipment. And so that's been our secret to success, is to take an approach both on products and on private versus public and optimize that so we're delivering to our residents the elements that they need in a cost-effective strategy. In the lower right, that's Jim in our sign shop. We have a sign shop that can produce any sign necessary in short time. That allows us to really get stop signs in stock and replace those when they're hit. We aim for the same turnaround of a 24-hour anytime that we have a stop sign hit. Looking at some of the numbers of components of our infrastructure, we have 202 major paved road miles and a little bit more than that on local road miles. Together, if we take $7 million per mile, which is about the cost of a new 2-lane road, that represents a $4 billion asset that this county has out there. So of course we have to make sure that we're keeping tabs with how we take care of it. We have another 150 miles of chip sealed roads, millings roads, and dirt roads. The 123 miles of concrete sidewalk, if stitched end to end, would allow somebody to walk from these chambers to Daytona Beach or Sanibel or Freeport, Bahamas. Now those are an amenity. They're fantastic. They connect communities. They allow people to have different modes of travel, but they're also a liability because we have to maintain them to the American Disabilities Act standards. Our 74 maintained traffic signal devices that I talked about before help residents navigate our intersections safely. Each one of those, on average, you could use a number of $5,000 per year to operate and maintain, and that's without any serious event like an accident damaging some of that equipment. Speaking of accidents damaging equipment, we have over 2 miles of guardrail. It is constantly getting hit. Sometimes we have an accident report to mate up with it and there's an insurance claim. Many times it's not, and we find out about it through residents that call in. Our 99 maintained stormwater areas are required to be treated through our municipal service state permit. We also have hundreds of miles of roadside swale, ditches, canals, and culverts that help our area drain. All of that needs to be maintained. This next slide is a snapshot of some of the preliminary data that we've received. Back in 2024, we tested those 202 local paved road miles and received a score, 0 to 100, called a pavement condition index for those major roads. We did the same thing for the local paved roads this year. And the results were pretty promising. On the left-hand side, when we see the distribution of all of our roadways, we see that the vast majority of them are in the very good to excellent range. So when we're looking at that middle graph, that PCI, pavement condition index, we want that number to be nice and high. And that's a testament to the investment that this county has made and this board has made into our road network over the past years. Looking at that backlog, those are the roadways that have a score of 40 or less. Those roads are so bad that we really have no choice but to reconstruct those roads. So we want that number nice and low, and we see that it's only about 4% of the overall network. And the idea is really to make sure that we're applying optimized expenditures, because as costs continue to go up, both on the material and the labor side, we're forced to make choices. So the only way to do so effectively is to try to get into preservation and rehabilitation versus reconstruction. It's akin to brushing your teeth or not waiting to go to the dentist when you have a cavity. Very, very similar to that type of analogy. These photos, again, represent a lot of the items that we do on the day-to-day. In the top left side, we see bridge repairs, which have been funded through the infrastructure sales tax. And that does give our residents a safer place to drive, whether we're repairing guardrails or bridge abutments, also fixing scour that may have happened in the channel beneath the bridge. And the key to that is that not only are we providing a instantaneous measure of safety, but it's an investment for the future, because if we get a natural disaster and seek federal highway or federal emergency management grants, the very first question they ask is, show me that this was not this way before the storm. Prove it. Well, now we can prove it because we've made that investment, we performed that repair, and we can demonstrate that. The sidewalk photos in the middle, top and bottom. Again, we've been very, very fortunate to be able to apply for transportation alternative grants through our transportation planning organization, which help leverage the dollar. We pay about 20 cents on the dollar for the sidewalks that we construct, and that helps connect communities. It gives people a place to recreate, walk their dog, go for a jog. It also gives kids a safe place to wait for bus stops in the wintertime when it might be dark in the morning. And on the top right and bottom right, we see an expansion that was both of those. That's an expansion of our Indrio Savannas wet pond, creating new wetland habitat. And on the lower right is a baffle box installation in the River Park neighborhood. Both of those are water quality improvement projects. Not only are they necessary to keep the vitality and the health of our St. Lucie River and estuary as good as it can be, but they're required by our Basin Management Action Plan. It was not that long ago, in fact 2016 and 2018, where our area was front page news, headline national news for the algae blooms that were happening. So it's projects like this that help to combat against that occurring in the future. again, looking at some of the numbers, and this is our last year's data that we collect, we did over 12 miles of swale. We reprofiled 12 miles of roadside swale. That's really allowed us to unlock that culvert assistance program, which is a national award-winning program that allows residents to defer the cost of driveway culvert replacement over 10 years, put it on the tax roll through a MSBU, and really lessens the sting of having to replace a pipe, and it allows for roadways to drain, neighborhoods to function effectively, and is the purest form of a public-private partnership for our area. We processed 2,756 work orders. That's over 10 a day. They come in sizes large to small. It could be as simple as replacing a street sign or as complex as repaving a roadway. Likewise, we've almost hit 10 a day of traffic signs made. These traffic signs either get damaged by accident, stolen, or based on their orientation, they get bleached by the sun and need to be replaced. Looking at the user permits, 300 driveway permits. Those can be replacements or also new construction, and 41 site development permits. So after this board hears a site plan, and I know there's, as Ben mentioned, there's a ton of really good information that's on site plans. That's kind of like a conceptual level drawing. Once it gets approved, then the real engineering begins, and our engineers through our site development permit process make sure that as cars are turning into a driveway, they can navigate those corners. We look at paving, we look at grading, drainage, stormwater, all of those things that come after the site plan is developed to make sure that these are engineered so that they're going to function properly today and into the future. This slide represents the infrastructure surtax from a fiscal standpoint, but what it really doesn't talk about is that the fact from, if you're looking at the bar of fiscal year 19, it really doesn't mention the 10 years prior to that, where after the throes of the Great Recession, where unemployment was up, so people weren't driving, gas tax revenues were lower. There was next to no development, so no impact fees were coming in, and property values were lower, so our stormwater MSTU suffered. There was no maintenance that was in preventative form happening for 10 years. If something broke, we fixed it. We were extraordinarily reactive. Once we were able to implement the sales tax, that really allowed us to catch up on a lot of deferred maintenance, about 10 years worth. And we've been incredibly successful in investing almost $52 million in the ground with this sales tax. Another $14 million in grants or offset revenue helps to double down on the investments into the community. When we look at the right side, I want the viewers at home to understand that what you see on the blue, which is the revenue, and what you see in the red and the expenditures, they don't match up. Now, the delta between those does not mean that we've just stacked that money away for a rainy day. That represents the capital program nature, where these projects need to be designed, engineered, permitted, and then eventually constructed. That can take several years. So the gap between those is programmed to those projects. So it's a committed improvement, but until that invoice is paid, that work has been inspected, it's in the ground and approved, we don't count it as an expenditure in the red line. So I just wanted to explain the gap between that for those viewing at home.
I'd like to add in, for the commissioner's sake, the conversation we had yesterday about reserves and all the many different reasons there are reserves. In an example like this, the difference between the red line and the blue line sits in reserve, programmed out for projects in future years, but until we get to the year where we're able to get that project done, that money is sitting there ready for that project.
Thank you.
So again, wrapping it all up, everything from roadside maintenance to road repaving to water quality projects, drainage enhancements and sidewalks is what we do every day. And we're so proud that our ability to provide for this community, to create environments and enhance communities, is something that the residents can experience. We have the joy of having our assets be very visible out in the roadway, so we can tangibly go by there the next year and say, I remember that project, I remember improving that area, and the residents' joy after we were all done. And that only happens with your support, and couldn't be more grateful for it. So thank you, Board of County Commissioners, and here for any questions that you all may have.
Thank you, Patrick, and your entire Public Works team and all the different divisions. I'm sure you probably get the brunt of all of our calls throughout the year. And normally it's probably not just to call and say thank you. It's normally because someone is having a problem somewhere. And just to touch on a couple things, you brought up the Culvert Assistance Program, and I just wanted to highlight that was actually one of the programs that we were awarded through NACO this year. And so that was pretty exciting, along with Parks and Rec, the Tunnel of Terror, and Trunk or Treat. So just I'll hit on that while I'm right there. You also hit on the fact too, right? We have a sign shop. And so this year, because of us being able to do that in-house, all of Indian River Estates, 600 plus signs, made in-house and put up and installed. And I'm sure you're still getting a lot of positive feedback. Everyone is really loving that they know where they're going now as they navigate through there. The other thing too, you talked about sidewalks and TAP grants, and your department has worked with TPO, and in the next coming years, knock on wood, we've obtained grant dollars for sidewalks on Easy Street, which we know the residents, it's one of those tough roads, right? It doesn't make sense to widen it because you're dead ending into nowhere, but yet, you know, you have the challenges because of the deep swales. So this is going to be great for safety for people just trying to go out and get their mail. You know, Mr. Heller, that's been an issue for him. So yeah, there's a lot of things that go into what you guys do, and I just really, truly appreciate it, especially this past year with all of Silver Oaks. I can tell you sometimes the Public Works team, we're literally out there every day, multiple times a day for 2-3 week periods at a time. So just thank you, the whole team, and everything. It just can't be said enough. So
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Anyone, Commissioner Glasby?
So, well, first of all, thanks. Public Works, very important department of the county. Campaigned heavy on trying to improve our roadways, and I mean, I think historically we've been a little underfunded with road maintenance. I'm happy to see that there's a bit of an increase this year, but just as far as, just for plain English, what does it cost to resurface or maintain a roadway for resurfacing per mile approximately?
Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's about $500,000 per mile for resurfacing a 2-lane road. Yeah, that's an accurate number.
And that includes like the striping and everything in that number?
That's correct.
And then you were mentioned before to reconstruct a roadway is about $7 million.
That's the value of a blank slate new 2-lane roadway. The reconstruction of a roadway is, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of $750,000 for a mile. And Chris? Yep. Okay, good.
So
I've been able to read his mind more and more lately, so perfect.
Okay, I think that this isn't the part for numbers, I guess, at this moment.
We'll have that later.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, that's good info.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
So, Madam Chair, if no other questions for Public Works, it is, we're on track, we're moving pretty well. It is 11:30. We did kind of let everybody know we would do 11:30 to 1 for lunch, so if the board is interested, we could break there. We're well on track and schedule, and we can come back and wrap up the remaining departments and then get into the numbers this afternoon, if that's okay with the board.
I mean, that works for me. This way we can kind of stay on the schedule that's been advertised. Does that work for everyone else?
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay. All right, so we will be back here then at 1 o'clock, finish with the last 2 departments, and then go into the next phase. Enjoy your lunch, everyone.